Hi everyone, how are all of you doing? Today I want to talk about something a little sensitive, and that is how do you deal with a negative feedback or a negative review? Because I know that for most of us entrepreneurs and small business owners, I think the worst thing that we can imagine, the thing that we dread the most is somebody telling us that they did not like our product or putting up a bad review about it. And I know this because so many people that I speak to, so many of my own clients, they refuse to put themselves out there only because they have this fear of getting a bad review. And so this is something what I want to address today. So how do you deal with getting a bad review or bad feedback? But before that, I'll tell you what made me think about creating this video. So sometime a few days ago, I got a notification in my stories, and I realized that somebody tagged my BOH account, and they've mentioned as to how they're very disappointed about a particular product that they bought from me earlier, a few weeks back. And I read that, and it was a public review. It wasn't very much in detail, but it just spoke about how disappointed it is that that lady was in the product that she bought. And that product is actually one of my best selling products. It's something that people are crazy about, and it's one of the products that I'm very proud about. So it's one of the products that I would recommend to people that, hey, you want to try something from my range, go try buy this product. So it's one of that product. It's not even like one of the bottom rung products of mine. So so she put up a story saying how disappointed she was with that product, and I read that and my heart sank. Okay, like I think while I was reading it, my heart actually there was this pain here, and I think that is how it is for most of us, because we are so emotionally attached to everything that we create. Whether it is a product or a service, we become really emotionally attached to it because we invest so much time and energy in creating it, right? But being an entrepreneur and being a business owner, we have to be open to receiving critique. We have to be open to receiving negative feedback, and you can deal with it. Okay, you will never stop receiving negative feedback, but you will know how to deal with it. So in my opinion, there is a practical and an emotional way of dealing with receiving a negative feedback. So talking about the practical ways, first and foremost, whenever you receive a negative feedback, the first thing that you need to do is contact the person. Okay, so whatever however that person's placed an order, reach out to the person and get their honest idea, opinion about it. Okay, speak to them, let them talk it out, and while they're doing it, don't try to defend your product, don't try to interrupt them, don't try to make them feel that they're wrong in judging the product in the way that they've judged it, because they're human and they are free to have their own opinion, and it is absolutely okay if they do not like your product, because you can't create something of this sort that everybody likes. Okay, the somebody or the other will definitely not like your product. So if you do hit upon a person of this sort, it is absolutely okay. So hear them out. Okay, do not try to tell them that they are wrong in judging the product in however it is that they feel about it. Secondly, keep a record of all the feedback that you get. So maintain an Excel sheet or maintain a note, maintain a diary in which you can keep a record of all the positive as well as the negative feedback that you've received about a particular product. And this is very important because over time you'll be able to review your product and see how is the feedback been changing. And when you get when you get a negative feedback of this sort about a particular product which generally does very well, it would be a good idea to call up other customers who've bought that product in that period and ask them if they are also facing the same issue. So this will help you identify whether it's a particular issue in that particular batch that you've made, or just overall if the product is not being appreciated. That is especially true if you've recently created a new product and you've not sampled it before and you don't have any feedback about it. Okay, so if you realize that you're getting a lot of negative feedback, say people are telling you that the packaging is breaking, the product is getting damaged, or maybe something, if you're providing clothing, then maybe like the color is running out. If you're creating handmade items, maybe anything could go wrong with it. Okay, but it's a good idea to not just hear the person who's made the complaint, but also to get in touch with other customers of yours who have been regular with you and ask them if they are facing the same issue or not. Okay, that is very, very important. This will help you incorporate that feedback into your product and improve it. Now, if other people say that they are not facing that kind of an issue, then somewhere that there's nothing wrong with your batch, there is nothing wrong with the product that you're creating, that it is just this one person who did not like the product, which is absolutely okay. Okay, so you don't have to feel very bad about that. It's absolutely okay if that person does not like your product. So the alternative here is that you could offer the person some sort of a refund or maybe a replacement, and I believe that's the right thing to do, because after all, our aim is to make the person happy, right? So even if they say that they don't like it, it is okay to send them something else, because you have to keep your customer in mind first. Okay, and you have to make sure that they are happy with their purchase with you. And I've done this, all right. Now, for anybody who orders through my website, buys any of my products, any of my bath and body products that I offer, if they call up and they tell me that Shreya, I don't like this, I give them a replacement, or I send them any other product. I don't question their decision. Okay, and that is what helps people trust me. They know that if they buy something from me and if they don't like it, no questions asked, I'll tell them, listen, you keep that product, it's okay, and I'll send you something else as well. And that's how I've built such long-term relations with people, where they've been buying from me consistently since the year that I launched, and there are so very many of them. So that is something that I would encourage you to do as well. Okay, have a very good refund policy so that people can build that trust in you and your brand. And so then the next question is, should you delete that feedback or review? Suppose it's up on your Facebook page or Instagram or something, and so should you delete it? I would say don't do that. Okay, don't ever delete your negative feedbacks, because you might be the best brand in the world, somebody or the other might have some negative feedback. Okay, what customers judge you by is not just the negative feedback, they judge you by how well you have addressed that feedback. So if somebody's left a comment on your social media profiles saying something negative, make sure that you respond to that comment very, very politely, and tell them how you want to take things forward to solve their problem. So when somebody else sees that and they see that, okay, somebody did have a problem with this and they've put up a review, that you've been good enough, you've been trustworthy enough to respond to that comment and to resolve it for that customer. And that is what is important, because there is no brand which will never receive negative feedback, right? It's bound to be. So you can't hide your negative feedbacks by deleting them, because if you do that, it always does raise some questions as to how is this possible that this brand does not have any negative feedback. Okay, I mean, do you know of any brand which does not have any negative feedback? Like, think of the biggest brands. Cadbury had that issue with the whole worms and the chocolates and all, right? Maggie's come under so much flack for their issues. So the biggest brands in the world have to deal with negative feedback. So we can do it, and we have that connection, we have that one-on-one connection where we can pick up the phone, call up the customer, apologize to them and resolve it for them. And that is what is needed to be done. Okay, the second thing is, so these are all the practical aspects of dealing with receiving a negative feedback. The second aspect is the emotional aspect, where we as entrepreneurs, we tend to beat ourselves up when we get a negative feedback. So first and foremost, don't take it personally. It is not a negative feedback about your product is not a reflection on you. Okay, it's all right, maybe that product wasn't meant to be liked by that person, but it does not mean that you need to beat yourself up over it. Okay, so don't do that. Don't start thinking that this is it, this is my moment of failure. Don't just so be gentle with yourself. Be loving towards yourself, even if you get some negative feedback. And the second thing that I like to do is I like to practice some affirmations whenever I feel a little stressed that, oh my god, am I not doing a good job? So I just like to kind of affirm to myself that I am okay. I create products and services for my customers which are beneficial for them, and we can both grow mutually together. So you can create an affirmation of this sort and just say that to yourself whenever you feel low. All right, so these are the two ways in which I deal with negative feedback, and I would love to know if you've received a negative feedback and what did you do about it. How did you deal with it? How did you resolve it for your customer? So do let me know. I'll be eager to hear your stories. And also I wanted to tell you guys that on 21st of June we have the June month photo challenge, Meet the Womenpreneurs. So do drop by my Instagram link. The link is going to be put in the bio. Do drop by my Instagram. That's shreya.biz /Instagram, and you'll be able to find it. And do check out what the prompts are and who the sponsor is. And because of course, like every month I do have gifts for participants, and we choose like a winner from everybody who participates. And this photo challenge is one of the best things that I do on my Instagram account, and we have so many people who take part in it, and it's 1 week of absolute fun for women entrepreneurs. Okay, so I will see you that is starting on 21st of June. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Okay, till then, take care guys. Bye.